Alrighty, I am here, raring to go. It's about 8 minutes after 5. We're running a little late in traffic, but we got here. And usually I have paintings back there, but I just have one. Anyway, this is the Circle of Grace One Live with myself, Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey. Some of you have been trying to come on, so if you come on a little later, or you want to check the ID, I'm going to lay it up. It's 553-238-1821. This is still pretty much a private one, but if you happen to be in here, I will share it with you. I'm only going to be on for about 40 minutes. And so we're going to get started with something here. And this is necessary to kind of help out. So I'm going to just kick this off with a prayer. Through divine power and by divine grace, may all who have the opportunity to see this live up in my YouTube channel, may you be blessed by what you receive here. Know that my grace is your grace. This is an opportunity for oneness to be in full effect. And despite all of the slightly cataclysmic things happening with these hurricanes, tornadoes, whether it's earthquakes, just know that a lot of this goes on all the time, because the earth has been heating up for a long time. Therefore, a lot of climate change going on for many years. This is nothing new. But what you want to be able to do is just heighten your awareness. What you also want to do is realize that everything that's happening outside of yourself, not just you, but millions of other people throughout various cities, right? Millions of other people are experiencing all of this because of also what's going on the inside. It wouldn't be as traumatic if we had full focus, full centeredness, rootedness within ourselves, if we were putting out more energy along the lines of unconditional love and respect toward others, including ourselves, our families, communities, districts, states, countries, nation, you name it. If we were doing more of this and continuing to do more of this, then we would see our levels increase. We would feel and know that all will be well. So we want to allow ourselves to continue along this line of expressing our divinity in its fullest nature. This is very, very important right now. So the more that we could place out into the universe, the better for ourselves. This is highly essential right now, that we learn to be more cognizant, more aware of the kind of energy we're giving off, because we are also vibrational beings. We're sentient, spiritual, vibrational. That means everything that we see and hear and taste and feel is going on and sense is a vibration that we're picking up on, and we're able to distinguish one vibration from the next. So we all have this ability to do this. Now, this doesn't happen overnight, because it takes many people to allow themselves to come into this feeling and this knowing that all will be well. So something that I shared earlier on the Thor radio network platform today, as well as my own blog talk radio, The Age of Remembrance, yesterday afternoon, was all about the concept of regression. Now, we see this word, or may have heard of this word or parts of it in different ways. To regress means to basically go back to an earlier state of mind, condition or state of mind, where you had different experiences, life events going on. Now, you can regress within this day, going back all the way to the time that you woke up. You can regress further back while you were asleep. You can regress further back while you were whatever your thoughts and feelings and actions were yesterday or a year ago. You can reinvest that self, that energy, part of yourself, and go all the way back to the time of your birth. There's a concept called rebirth, and it involved breathing. So it was a rebirthing. It was something that people did a lot back in the 1990s, the late 80s into the 1990s, learning how to rebirth a person. And what would happen is you take that person back through breathing, patterns of breathing, and they would go all the way back to the time of the birth, coming out of the mother's uterus and coming out. Also, what it was like on the inside of the mother's womb. That's regression, going back to that. But you can go back into other states of awareness, other timelines. And as if you watch or listen to today's show, I mentioned today's show on Thor, a radio network platform, which almost went 3 hours, 5 minutes. So you hear me talk about different groups that use regression in order to gain information about, in other words, whatever you're going through right now in your life, you can get back to this lifetime, to the potentials and possibilities of other lifetimes. You find it. And I said where you find it is in the substance of the universe called Akasha. The Akasha in the universe is equivalent to your subconscious mind, the library in your conscious mind. And so Akasha holds all these impressions. Not only you walking around in a human form, but every being, every entity, every thought you've had, every action, every feeling, every sensation. Not only that, but interaction with other beings in this so-called human form, animals, insects, birds, you name it. You are interacting all the time. So all of these things are getting projected into the Akasha of the entire universe. But it's first in your subconscious, in the base of your skull, and then in your auric through your body, and then your auric field. It's in your emotions, it's in your mental body. So it's in the emotional body, your mental body, your etheric body, your physical body, your soul essence that you walk around with. It's in your auric field. And then it goes further, not only in your subconscious, but out into what we call the subconscious energy of the universe, called the Akasha, and it's within every galaxy. So all of these different galaxies have their own Akasha elements, and then all of that is interwoven and braided into the much bigger one. So what I want to share with you is this. Now, how do I know this? Because in my book, if you happen to have a book, my book, I have one here. This is for someone who's going to purchase it. If you have this book, Dancing in the Light of Divine Grace, excuse me, by myself, Francis E. Revels-Bey, if you go to page 33, which is chapter 44, there's a chapter there called The Second Gift. Get up a little closer. The chapter in there called The Second Gift. And the second gift was about an experience that I had on the day that my mother transitioned, but she had informed me way ahead of time that I would receive a gift from someone. And she told me all of that in 1979, that I would have a gift received. She gave me a life reading. She was a spiritualist. And I didn't know she was a spiritualist until I was in college. Then I got to figure it out. My mother has abilities that she could track me wherever I'm at, extremely psychic. She can really not just have a mother's intuition, but my mother had strong third eye opening. I didn't understand any of that stuff, but she capitalized on it. She studied it, and she brought it forward even more so with herself. So I talk about how once her body is laid in the ground through the coffin, and all of my relatives go back to an older sister's house where we had all stayed, being my brother and myself at the time, before my brother got married. I saw her in 3D form, not see-through, 3D form, physical form like we are, walking around throughout the house. But I was the only one that I realized I was the only one that saw her thoroughly in the way that I saw her. and I acoustically heard her talk to me. I saw her touch me. I could feel like I put my hand right above her hand. I didn't let anybody know. Now, to other people, they just see me touching myself on my arm, but they didn't know that I was touching her hand. And I could see and feel. This is not something that was made up. This was a real experience. So eventually, what happened was I realized I was now seeing her, not only from the time of the mirror, seeing her in the mirror before she transitioned, as she transitioned, but seeing her now in this 3D form on the day of her burial right away. So that means she wasn't in her body. She was outside her body. She was following the current of energy. She was showing up, letting me know that she was around me. And she said I'd have a gift 2 years prior to that. So this was in 1981, May 18th of 1981. She transitioned on May the 13th, 1981, right while in a coma. So diabetic coma, we might call it. But anyway, to speed this up, because I don't really have much time in this segment, but I saw her. She led me to leave there because a month ago, before that time, I was scheduled to give a numerology lecture. I gave the lecture. I had to leave the place, drive out to Deer Park, Long Island, give this lecture. Met a gentleman there who wanted to give me a gift after speaking with me and me hearing me talk about the numerology. He wanted to give like an exchange. He wanted to give me a gift. That was the word. You'd have to get the book to see what else transpired. But what I want to do is I want to pass a gift on to you in this short video. Anybody can regress themselves. Now, you can regress yourself by getting a hold of a voice-activated digital recorder. There are many of them out there. Radio Shack sells them. If you still have Radio Shack in your area, go to Best Buy. Go anywhere. Get yourself a good voice-activated digital recorder. They're only this big, you know, what, about 2-3 inches big, and not the widest, a half an inch, and going across the back or the width of them, they're probably about an inch. But you want to get one, and if you're fortunate, you can get the one that allows you with its own USB cord to plug it up to your computer and then upload it later to hold on to your documents that way. But you get one of these. If you don't have one, you can use a standard tape recorder, but you have to learn how to train yourself to first cue it up so that it's ready to record, place it on pause, be deep enough but not so trance-like to be able to come up out of the trance state just enough to release the pause button. Then you got to be able to speak loud. So what you want to do is have a partner who's like-minded, like yourself, on the same page. A partner or two. One person can control the digital recorder or tape recorder, can place it close enough so that you can be heard your descriptions and your feelings that you have during this moment. But if you have one person, then they can do all of that for you. Also, you could talk about ahead of time what kind of questions the person can ask you so you can begin to describe what you see. Now, many people who are trained, and I'm not trained, a certified hypnotherapist can do that with you. A clinical hypnotherapist can do that with you. Psychologists and psychiatrists do it all the time. But you can do it for yourself. All you have to do is train yourself to pay attention to the rhythm of your breathing, to be able to count yourself back, kind of know what a second beat is. Watch your watch and you could tick it off. When you say how much a second is. A second is like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a second. That's how fast a second moves. So you could, once you see that, then you could train yourself to move a little slower in your count. Each time taking yourself back further and further, or stepping down your energy so that you can relax. Once you learn how to do that, the next step would be, if you have this partner to help you out, to take you into a zone within yourself where you could create it in your mind, a crystal chamber. chamber of healing, chamber of meditation. Well, you might get the presence of mind where you remember being outside in a park, no one really around you but a couple of birds and beavers or whatever, squirrels, and you're just there in absolute peace. You can use visuals like that, or you could train yourself to see specific color in your mind. Bring it up, sense it, just know that you have it, and then go into it that way. So you regress yourself back to a state of mind, back to a specific condition or event in your life or in previous lives. We now understand in the past 20 years that we're in a matrix, a holographic world. So that means all that you're looking for is really around you. It's the circuitry of it is circular. It's not linear. So you can see what's to the right, left, front, and back, up and down. You're in the center, so you get to see all of these planes of awareness. Through your soul, which is your higher self, ask, which is really asking that definitive, infinite form inside yourself, the Holy Spirit, if you like to call it that, to show you a significant event from a past life that equates with what you're going through right now. As that part of yourself pulls that up out of your subconscious, and that another part could pull of yourself can also pull in what we might call a possible future timeline in, so you can see where you're headed in your current destiny. Now, I also mentioned that you could interact with the master cell in your body. The master cell is that part of the cells that controls all the other cells. Cells of the heart, cells of the blood, bones, hair, teeth. The master cell controls lymph glands, all of your organs. The master cell controls your eyes, it controls the way you breathe. It has connections to all those other cells. It is consciously, definitively, infinitely a part of your soul, and it sits on the inside of you. And it's like, I call it like your inner security guard. It kind of walks around and makes sure everything is all right, everything is running in order. The commands of the universe are being received properly because you're this vibrational being. So I'm letting you know through this short video that you can regress yourself. You can regress yourself. The more you do energetically for yourself, eating better, drinking more water, energized water, know that you can energize the water yourself. Yes, you can. You don't have to be a master at Reiki. You don't have to be a master Qigong healer, a master Qigong martial art. You don't have to. You just have to understand how the energy works. You have to get yourself involved with the energy and know that energy radiates from you through your eyes. When you breathe, when you talk, it radiates through the pores of your skin. So you can energize a glass of water. You can energize juice that you do, juicing veggies and fruit juices from natural fruits. If you can do that with water, right? If you can do it with water, also know that the bloodstream goes through the same thing that you're putting in the water. So if you're going to energize water, you can energize your bloodstream to do the same, right? You call up the elements yourself. So I want to let you know that in this video, what you need to do as I get ready to close this out, I want to give you a short regression. I can still do it. I have approximately 11 minutes. But what I want you to do is I want you to go to www.blogtalkradio.com / type in THORNISTRYRADIO. That's long, Thor Ministry Radio. When it opens up, I want you to scroll down the on-demand page and look for Decree and It Shall Be. As soon as you see this, look for Decree and It Shall Be. And I want you to look for this part where I don't really give you all of it, but I'm letting you know the title of the show, basically. It's all about regression. And I want you to go in. It's a special show. So you go in, kind of look for today's date, which is Thursday. You go in, click on it, brings up another page. You can listen to it. It's a 3-hour show. There's at least 7 to 8 minutes of intro music, three minutes up front and 3 minutes at the end. But you'll be able to go in, you hear me interact with one or two people in the panel that's there with me and talk about these things. But I put you through a channeled regression that I get from one of my high-powered ancient guides, Akhenaten, and we bring that energy to you. So I'm going to give you a little synopsis exercise of it today. What I want you to do is just go with me with this. Do some deep breathing right now. Relax yourself. Maybe raise your shoulders up and down. Flex your shoulder blades, muscles, legs. Just begin to relax. As you do this, I want you to breathe deeply and freely. I don't want you to hold your breath. You know how you say la, 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 like that? Wherever that tongue hits the roof of your mouth, that's where you want to place pretty much the last eighth of an inch, quarter of an inch of the top of your tongue to that part to the roof of your mouth. Bring the upper jaw down with the lower jaw. Don't tighten, don't clench. Begin to breathe. The point in where your tongue would be, it's about right here, right there on the outside. And the point right here is a touch point for EFT. So you're right where you're supposed to be. That's a nerve center there that connects with the mouth and breathing. I want you to inhale and exhale. And as you relax, I just want you to allow yourself, sort of like a free fall, allow yourself to go deeper into you, where you're relaxed, totally relaxed. And as you're doing this, relaxing, inhaling and exhaling, you can let some of the air out through your mouth as you exhale and bring it in if you get hot through your mouth, but you shouldn't. You should be nice and calm right about now. Just allow yourself to go deeper and relax. Now, I'm not going to say exactly the same thing that was said this morning because that was a channeled bit of information, but I want you to say, speaking these words deep within yourself, I desire to see a specific timeline from my past that connects with what I am doing right now. Inhale on it, relax into it, and let the energy come up on its own. It may show you some scenes that could be a little foggy, a little vague, but they will fill in eventually. You'll see flashes of images, sights, sounds, colors may come to you, symbols. You'll be able to hold on to it. Just keep doing that. Your awareness that you want to see, you desire to see. Now you can say, I am seeing right now a distinctive past life that's connected to what I am doing, a fact of who I truly am right now. You'll feel some tingling on the inside of your brain folds and around by your ears, and especially in the base of your skull, you'll feel a little bit if you tap it. A master cell is going in there getting those ideas, panels and frames, and bringing them to the surface very slowly, but in a very subtle way. While that's going on, say, I choose and desire to see one of the possible futures, one of the timelines that has to do with my destiny, where I'm already doing what I desire to do. What will happen is sort of like if you would cover up your left eye, you feel energy over by the left eye, right in here. And if you were to cover up the left eye, you feel some of that incoming energy right about here. So you might feel it up here. But it's in this stream, and it starts, when you see it fully, it'll start to come around in front of you almost. Or you feel like you're in a sea of light and energy, which you are right now in a sense. So as you do this, you have a few more minutes. As you do this, I just want you to know that you're in the best possible space called your soul. And I want you to project through your soul, known as your higher self, that you do know, you do understand, and you do remember. Just say, I Know, I understand, I remember. I know, I understand, I remember. You can say it differently. I understand that I already know, therefore I can remember. And then you just focus on a particular, now you don't have to know exactly what it is, but you know it's there in the deeper realms of your subconscious mind. It's just your own Akashic records are there. You can tune into it if you want. You can tap yourself on the base of the skull as a remembrance, as a trigger. You do know it will come to you. You tap along here and say, I see it. I know I see it. I really know that I see it. And I do remember. And it will begin to come to the surface. Now you might say, okay, well, how can we do this in such a short period of time? I'm letting you know that you can do it in a very short period of time. It just takes practice on your part. And say, I understand that I already know, and therefore I remember the future when my destiny has already unfolded. When I see myself doing exactly what I'd like to do, what I truly do. And that will bring itself in. You're like this fisher person, you're reeling in. Big old marlin, it's yourself though. You're destined. The part that you're destined to be is already there. You're reeling it in into the present moment, because all things exist in the present. Now, I'm going to slow this down right about here. This is a basic, quick exercise, but you can hear the fullness of it, which was channeled today on the Blog Talk Radio Thor Ministry Radio Network this morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We did about 3 hours, exactly 3 hours. So you can take it in, and some people asked a few questions. Some people I called upon to ask some questions, and people talked about, one woman named Yama talked about her experiences and things that she's able to do now. This woman is up in age and she's doing it. She's in the moment, she's bringing it forward. So you're going to hear the 3 distinctive women or friends of mine who happen to be tuned to the show today. That you'll be able to feel it for yourself and receive it for yourself. With just a few minutes left now. Remember, you can regress yourself. If you choose to do it with other people, pick people who are on the same page with you spiritually, metaphysically. Why? Because they can help you remain calm and relaxed. If you want to lay on the floor, make sure you have your lower part of your back taken care of, your neck and your head, so you can be comfortable. Okay? You could do it in a recliner if you want. Have the necessary things there. Now, here are a few things you could also use so that maybe you might be distracted by light, bright light in the room. If you can dim the lights, do it, turn a light off, you can. Put some candles around. You can use a little incense. If the person is allergic to scent, aromatic scents, just allow that person to inhale upon something that they like. You could take essential oils. Take a little whiff of eucalyptus or lavender. Lavender is a healing one to relax, you see. Now, here's something else you want to do. You could use a towel that's been folded up, double, triple, and lay it over the eyes so that the person is not looking into bright light when they come out of this session. So these are some things you can do. Here's some other triggers that you can do. You know, you can take a foot bath. Take a foot bath within 15 minutes. Make sure your feet are nice and dry, and, you know, really bring it up a bubble bath or shower bath. Take one of those before you do this, and you'll be extra relaxed, okay? You'll be extra relaxed. And then you could go in it even deeper. Because the whole idea is not to bring any tension into it, not to come out with tension either. So these are a few things that you could do. You could Also do this with crystals around you, in your hands, on your shoulders, or down the front of your body, over your legs, on your head, or just place them around you. So there's different tools, instruments that you can use that will help you regress yourself. Beyond that, have a journal handy, a notebook, so that when you come out of it, you can write down your feelings and things that you were expressing. To see if when you do this enough times, you're not always going to remember everything that you said, but you could train yourself to become a conscious channeler. That means you're consciously aware of what you're saying. You're deep enough, but you're there in your conscious awareness where you can capture it very quickly in your memory. Which usually within about 72 hours or so, you might lose it. You may not have the information. So this is myself, Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey. I just wanted to come on here and give some tidbits and point you to it. When I upload this into YouTube, I'll also give my Thor Ministry Radio link network, so you can go back to today and listen. Or if you'd like to get a copy or know what to do, how to like tune into it on Blog Talk Radio every Thursday. Next Thursday, we're going to go in some more on regression. So I'm letting you know now, if you see this, tune into next Thursday. If you live in a central time zone, it'll be 10 a.m. If you're in Mountain, it's 9 a.m. You're Pacific, it's 8 a.m. If it's East Coast, it's 11 a.m. Tune in. So email me at iam.circleofgrace with number 1 at the end at yahoo.com or iam.circleofgrace1 at gmail.com. If you connected with me as friends on Facebook, I could send you a private message that way, or I'll just look for me on my timeline. I'll upload it. I will upload tonight so you get this information. And be well. My grace is your grace. Until next time, remember that divine grace is a blessing, as we are alive and well in the age of remembrance. If you'd like to get my book, you can email me the same way to get the information. The book is $25, posting out to you a package, bubble package, another $3 or so, and you can have it. Okay? So this is Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey. Thank you for being with me this evening in this short little blast and listening to it later. I'm going to upload this in another 30, 40 minutes. It'll be in my YouTube channel. And be sure to go back to Blog Talk Radio tonight, and listen to that 3-hour show. All right now. Take care. Bless you.